Hello students. Today we are going to learn about the stock adjustment model developed by Nerlove. This comes under the dynamic versions of demand function. This model is based on the stock adjustment principle, and it was applied only for discussing the demand function of consumer goods. Later, the same concept of stock adjustment was extended to non-durable goods by some other economists like Howdakar and Taylor. They termed it as habit creation principle. According to Nerlove, the consumption of current period is only a stock adjustment. It normally depends upon the stock adjustment coefficient. The final form of Nerlove's stock adjustment model can be expressed as Qt is equal to alpha 1 yt plus alpha 2 qt minus 1. This is the basic or final form of Nerlove's stock adjustment model, and it is applicable to the case of consumer durables. It means that Nerlove connected his basic demand function to the case of consumer durables only. In order to reach to this model, we need to understand some other variables which is developed by Nerlove itself. He introduced a term desired level of consumption or desired level of consumer durables. Desired level of consumer durables is Q dash T. This is the desired level of consumer durables, Q dash T. A consumer normally wants to have certain amount of consumer durables. That is his desire. He wants to have, or his desire is to have certain amount of consumer durables. That is the desired amount of consumer durables, desired level of consumer durables is expressed as Q dash T. And according to Nerlove, this Q dash T or desired level of consumer durable is determined by the current level of income. That is Q dash T is equal to beta yt. Here Q dash T is the desired level of consumption and yt is the current level of income, and beta is the independent variable which influences or which determines the effect of income on desired level of consumption. The value of beta may be varied depending upon person to person and situation to situation. Suppose there are two individuals A and B. Both are having equal level of income, current income. For example, 50,000 rupees. Both are having 50,000 rupees. But the consumption or desired consumption level of individual A, that is Q dash of individual A, may not be equal to that of individual B, Q dash of individual B, because even though both the individuals are having equal income, their desired consumption level may be different. That is normally presented by using the value beta. Therefore, desired consumption level varies along with changes in the value of beta. This is the basic equation, equation number 1. According to Nerlove, this desired level of durable goods cannot be purchased or cannot be acquired by the consumer with a single period. Because there are limitations of income, limitations on the availability of credit, etc. Therefore, this desired level of durables cannot be acquired immediately. That is, this acquisition process takes different time periods. It normally takes place in a gradual manner over a series of periods. There, Nerlove introduced a fraction k to express the proportion by which the desired level of consumption is acquired. Once again, the desired level of consumption cannot be acquired at a single point of time. It is acquired gradually and it depends upon the fraction k. That is, qt minus 1 is the amount or proportion of quantity purchased during this current period, is the fraction of desired consumption q dash t minus qt minus 1. That is, qt minus qt minus 1. This is the amount of commodity, the amount of portion of commodity that we have purchased this year. Out of this, qt is the total quantity at period t, total quantity that a consumer have at period t, minus qt minus 1 at previous period. That is, quantity in 2020 minus quantity in 2019 is the quantity acquired during the period 2019-20. That is, during this period. That is, from 2019 to 2020, a consumer acquired a particular quantity of commodity. That proportion is qt minus 1. And it is a fraction of this variable q dash t, that is desired consumption level, minus qt minus 1, that is previous period's consumption. qt minus 1 is equal to k into q dash t, that is desired consumption, minus qt minus 1, that is previous period's consumption. In other words, this fraction is the change in stock of the commodity. This is the second term is the quantity that is to be acquired or the remaining quantity to be acquired. And here k is the stock adjustment coefficient and its magnitude varies between 0 and 1. If we put a numerical example, we want to buy a product of rupees 1 lakh. Therefore, desired consumption q dash t will be of 1 lakh. Out of this 1 lakh desired consumption, till up to the last period, that means qt minus 1, up to the last period we have consumed, for example, 50,000 rupees. Up to last period we have finished the consumption of 50,000 rupees or purchase of 50,000 rupees. The remaining amount is 50,000 rupees. out of this remaining 50,000 rupees, suppose if 10,000 rupees is added this year, the value of K will be, that is 10,000 out of remaining 50,000 is added, and therefore the value of K will be 0.2. And in next year the desired consumption level will be this 1 lakh itself, and the next year the quantity Qt minus 1 will become this 50,000 plus the added 10,000 rupees. That means this 50,000 will become 60,000 rupees. That means through this period or through this current period we have added this 10,000 rupees, and thus the desired consumption quantity has been decreased up to a particular level. That is, this desired 50,000 rupees now become 40,000 rupees, and this 40,000 rupees will acquire in coming years. And if the value of K is higher than 0.2, for example, suppose it is 0.3, then this year the consumer will be adding 15,000 rupees instead of this 10,000 rupees. Similarly, if the value of K is 0.1, for example 0.1, then the consumer will be adding only 5,000 rupees to the desired consumption level. We have set this desired consumption level 1 lakh rupees, or a product of 1 lakh rupees is based on the absolute level of income of current period, and it is acquired in different parts, and how much time it requires to complete the acquiring process depends upon the value of K. Suppose if value of K is equal to 1, it means that the entire consumption, that means entire quantity, will be consumed at a single time. The entire 1 lakh rupees is paid at a single point of time. If the value of K is 0.5, K is equal to 0.5, then it means that the consumer, 0.5 means the consumer is acquiring or having the commodity in 2 installments or in 2 periods. If the value of K is 0.1, then normally it takes 10 periods to complete the process of acquiring. Therefore, K is the stock adjustment coefficient, and its value varies in between 0 and 1. If the value is 0, it means that nothing is added this year to the desired consumption level. We have set our desired consumption level as 1 lakh, but this year we have added nothing, then the value of K will be 0. If we are entirely consuming the product this year itself, the value of K will be 1. This is the equation number 2. Suppose if we substitute equation number 1 in equation number 2, we will get Qt minus 1 is equal to K into, instead of the term Q dash T, we are substituting beta yt, that is equation number 1. Then we will get K into beta yt minus Qt minus 1. Here, instead of this term, we have substituted beta yt, because this Q dash T is based on beta yt, and therefore we have substituted this term here. Now we are going to break the bracket. this term k which is outside the bracket is applicable to the two terms, that is beta yt and to qt minus 1. It can be written as qt minus qt minus 1 is equal to k into beta yt minus k into k qt minus 1. That means we have opened the bracket and applied the term k to both the terms inside the bracket. We have only two more steps, need not worry. Keep the qt of the left side of the equation here and move minus qt minus 1 to the right side. Then the equation will be qt is equal to k beta yt minus k qt minus 1 plus qt minus 1. That is, the term qt minus 1 here is having negative symbol, and as we move from the left side to the right side it will become positive. In the next step we are going to take a common factor k. Here qt minus 1 is a common in this term, therefore we are going to plot it as qt is equal to k beta yt. This much of the equation is same as above, plus 1 minus k as a common factor into qt minus 1. Here we have taken this qt minus 1 and this qt minus 1 as a common factor here. If we expand or if we multiply qt minus 1 with 1 minus k, you will get k into qt minus 1 minus qt minus 1 or plus qt minus 1. Now let k beta is equal to alpha and 1 minus k is equal to alpha 2. That is, k beta is equal to alpha 1 and 1 minus k is equal to alpha 2. We will get qt is equal to alpha 1 yt plus alpha 2 qt minus 1. This is the basic form or original form of Nerlove model. The equation within this blue box is the original equation which was developed by Nerlove, and it is the final form of Nerlove's stock adjustment model. Here the derivation of the equation is plotted once again. You can see how we have reached this final equation qt is equal to alpha 1 yt plus alpha 2 qt minus 1 from the basic equation of desired level of consumption. This is the content taken from the microeconomics book of Verma, K.N. Verma, and you can refer it for the same. This is the basic equation qt minus 1 is equal to k into beta yt minus qt minus 1. For the second step, we have opened this bracket and shifted this term qt minus 1 to the right side, as this minus qt minus 1 will become plus qt minus 1 here. And we have converted this k beta into alpha 1 and 1 minus k into alpha 2. We will get this final equation. There are some points to be noted. This term alpha 1 includes k and beta K is the stock adjustment coefficient. That means in what proportion we are adding the stock of a commodity, that is shown in K, and beta determines the influence of income on desired level of consumption. That means we have explained the example of two individuals with same income. If they are having same income, their desired level of consumption may be different. Therefore, beta represents the desired level. Beta determines the desired level of consumption. Therefore, K beta is termed as alpha. Therefore, alpha is the most important factor that determines the consumption pattern of an individual at current period. Similarly, in term alpha 2, we have incorporated 1 minus k. That is, the element of k is also there itself. That means previous level of consumption, Qt minus 1 is the acquired level of consumption till the last period or till current period. And if we are having more stock of a commodity, that means Qt minus 1 is higher, then its effect will be lesser on current consumption. It will have a negative impact on current consumption. That means if we have stock of a commodity, we will be having lesser and lesser tendency to purchase it again. Therefore, Nerlove's stock adjustment principle consider the basic element desired level of consumption, which is normally determined by the level of income. When income of an individual increases, people will have higher tendency to consume many luxury products or many durable commodities, and automatically when income level increases, desired consumption level also increases. And it depends upon the factor beta. Second element is factor K, which is the tendency or proportion of a consumer to have more and more of the commodity. So you have fixed a particular desired level of consumption, and the factor K determines for how long you require to acquire the commodity. It is possible for you to acquire the commodity even with a single period, or you can have different periods. That depends upon the factor K. Third element is YT, that is current income. Current income is the major determinant of desired level of consumption. That is, the role of income is highlighted in this dynamic demand function as well. Besides, the factor K is represented both with a positive sign and negative sign. It means that in some factors it is having positive influence, that is, in determining the desired level of consumption it is having positive influence, and if the stock of the commodity is having negative effect of K. K is having dual role, both positive as well as negative role. And last element, the stock of the commodity. The stock of the commodity is having negative impact on current level of consumption. Therefore, Nerlove's stock adjustment is clearly explains the basic dynamic version of demand function and how it is connected with previous periods consumption and how income affects the level of consumption as well. One of the major drawback of this analysis is that Nerlove consider only the value of durable commodities or the consumption pattern of durable commodities and neglected non-durable commodities. Later, Houdakar and Taylor in their dynamic model incorporated both durable as well as non-durable commodity. We will explain the Houdakar and Taylor model in our next video.